Hello? Hello, everybody. I'm back. Sorry it's been a while, but I am trying to stream at a different time of the day, so hopefully the connection's better, and the image is coming through nice and clear, and no skipping or any other interruptions. Yep. And hopefully audio is better as well, because I did a bit of rebalancing. So now hopefully the game is a bit quieter and I'm a bit louder. But without further ado, let's start. I did say I wanted to try out some of the more of the new content here today.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
As well as some of the old content. Old, quote unquote.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employed.
Can I skip this? Alright, Stanley, what new adventures shall we find today?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Narrator, I miss your voice. My good friend, my good pal. Mr. Narrator.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah, so I think this time we're going to go through most of the way, and then... See, this was what I was talking about before. I think it's all a dream. There's nothing rendered outside.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, this is a new pathway I'm taking. Okay, we're going downstairs, My favorite place, the basement. Ooh. I can't see what it says. Maybe some of you guys can tell me what it says. Alright.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk?
Oh,
All
goodness,
because
yes,
he
Stanley.
believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all.
Oh.
None of it made any sense. And as Stanley
I think something's
pondered
wrong
this,
here.
he began to make other strange
something's,
observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
That's a very good point. Doors closed behind him automatically whenever he went. I was just noticing that too.
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue.
1-2-B-4.
He just hadn't found the words for it. It's all a dream.
Oh.
What a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well himself
You guys happy now?
and began to gently float above the ground.
Funny number. Oh.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up.
So it is a dream
How
then.
was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice
It's in my head.
dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was
The exit
describing itself
is...
being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream.
Okay, game. You've made me walk through this loop for...
himself, believing that if
what, a
he's
good 4 or
asleep,
5
he doesn't
times
have
now?
to take
Come on.
responsibility for himself. Stanley is as awake right now as he's
Okay,
ever
but yes, what
been
was
in
all the
his
star
life.
stuff then?
Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to
Floating.
Stanley. After all, he knew for certain
we have some
beyond
kind
a
of
doubt
superpowers?
that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago?
That's what I'm saying.
How else
Thank
would
you.
the voice
Thank you,
explain all
narrator.
that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his
Wake
back,
up, Stanley. Wake up.
the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up.
But is he actually
he thought to
dreaming?
himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job.
But we have no wife.
All I want
and
is
no
my
apartment.
life exactly the way it's always been.
Our job is a lie.
My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Oh. Still trapped.
Stanley began screaming.
Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please,
What
just
if-
someone tell
what
me
if I am the-
must be real.
What if Stanley is the dream? Am I even Stanley? Who am I?
And everything went black.
Oh.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other.
Okay.
She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked
Oh.
to her place of work.
Sorry.
But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the
So
sidewalk.
we were crazy.
And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance,
Nice.
for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better.
Yeah, very
Then she
reassuring.
remembered the
And
meeting she had scheduled for
but
that day.
you're seeing a
Very
dead body on the
important
street and you're
people
thinking,
whose
man, I'm
impressions
so
of
glad
her
to be
would affect
sane.
her career, and by extension, the rest of her life.
I mean, I suppose,
She
but
had no
like,
time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring
would you not be more
down at the
concerned?
body. And then she turned and ran.
Oh. Well, screw you too, lady. Okay. I mean, nice philosophy game, but okay.
All of his co-workers were
Well,
gone.
the insanity
What could it
ending.
mean?
Very nice, Stanley.
Stanley decided to go to the
I'm assuming that's
meeting.
what it's called.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Me too, game. Me too. Well, time for some, new content, perhaps?
Oh, good. You noticed my sign.
Yes,
I
narrator.
have something very exciting to show you.
Oh, please do. Please do. I'm so enthused. You know, I appreciate the philosophy of this game, but, it's getting a bit existential for my taste. And we keep going over and over and over again, having no control of what's going on. And the gameplay is thrilling, it's just me
You see,
and
Stanley,
another
I've
disembodied
been
voice
reflecting on the Stanley
talking.
Parable, and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be.
Yeah, I would agree there,
The original
buddy.
Stanley Parable was a landmark. and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even
okay.
further.
It's
Which
exciting.
is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley
Parable 2?
2.
The end is never the end again. 427.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions.
Is this gonna go with the whole
This
over
is what fans have
sequelization
truly been
is
asking
bad
for.
route? Because yeah, new video games
Calling it the
are
Stanley
bad
Parable
because they
2
rehab. I mean,
is
yes,
just
okay,
so much
yes.
catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think?
Sure.
Ultra Deluxe. What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2. Now
E.
that's an artistic statement right
E.
there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley
So we're just
Parable
walking through these
2
empty
is going to
halls?
be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game
Prequel to the Stanley
development is
Parable
much
2
more
is
of
the
a
sequel
fuzzy
to the
magic
Stanley
than anything
Parable is the
scientific or
prequel to the
logical.
Stanley Parable. Oh, that's clever. Peace. I'm sorry, I completely lost track of what he was saying. New features. That's just a bus. Well, game, I am looking forward to this new content. Oh! Wow.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Reminds me of museums. Dang, it's been a long time since I've gone to a museum. I miss going to museums. Wait, what? Button that says the name of the player. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Well, I'm not going to get exposed here, my guys.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that
Too
they
short.
want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Should I be worried about this? Should I be exposed to my real name? It's gonna be all over the internet. Well, it's true, boys. The real name of your arbiter is
Jim.
Sorry.
How did it
I should
know?
clarify. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role play as Jim to really
How did it know my
simulate the
name is
full
Jim?
experience
Of
this
course.
feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay,
So I'm
here
Jim
we go.
now?
Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
like from The Office, Jim.
Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name.
Okay.
Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now,
Allow yourself to become Jim.
Imagine yourself driving to work as Jim, playing frisbee on the weekends as Jim, staying up all night for a popcorn and horror movie sleepover as Jim,
Oh, horror
developing a
movies,
crippling substance addiction as Jim,
Wait, what?
rediscovering yourself through fringe religious groups as Jim, and finally dying a slow death at an old age, surrounded by members of your cult as Jim. Do you feel it in your soul? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please...
Unfortunately,
step
disembodied
forward and
voices
press
don't
the
really
button.
have names like you and me, but I mean, I feel like a Jim.
Jim.
Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again. Do it again.
Okay, I'm a cult leader, and my name is Jim.
Jim. It hits even harder the second
So
time.
so hype.
If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Well,
Whoa there! Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away.
No,
Otherwise,
no.
you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
Oh. Wait, can I go downstairs and find it? Is this the Jim ending? Let me find Pam. Let me find Dwight. Aw, man. Is that it? Okay. Well, that was very fun
I suppose
game.
I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
What? Consistent quality was just the right. Actually, that's kind of smart, because you know, I mean, I feel like too many video game sequels these days just do the same thing. Just add a little bit new, you know, add a little something new. The new updated ray trace, more of the same, but in a good way, sequel to that. Red is the new orange. This is actually, I appreciate this Stanley Parable. I appreciate this humor. Is that us? It's a bit lonely in here. Infinite hole. Oh. A bottomless pit, perhaps? No screenshots.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons.
Oh,
but I'm
okay.
undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you
What are you
go
smelling
with?
about? Oh. Get. I like this one because it implies like you don't want them to get well right away, just, you know, eventually. So.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
Oh, screw you too,
Or actually,
game.
maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision, we're moving on. Come now, you've already made your choice. It's true that you chose bad, but we all have to move on.
I feel judged, game. The Stanley Parable reassurance bucket. Okay. This is so nice. I'm just visiting the Stanley Parable Museum with you
It was
guys.
confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is...
Well, I mean, that would take away the bucket. Oh.
Can you feel it?
That was a very...
...being through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma?
Oh.
The benefits of the bucket
Thank you, I
seem to go on and
suppose.
on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Okay.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Well, at that point, you just give out awards for everything. I want to go see the infinite hole. Free and easy achievement. Aww. So right now I really am just walking through a museum holding a bucket, right? Distant space-time, distant future. Hole-like infinity. Opening rim, surrounding area, depth infinite. I hope you guys are having fun, because I really do enjoy the humor of this game. Wait, infinite hole chart. Hole, depth, well, that's not a hole. It just keeps going. Alright, I'm excited to fall down this giant hole.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can...
Well, I have to disagree with you, because we walked through a giant hallway that was infinite, so...
You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Can we just go in? Oh, okay. That's actually kind of cool.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do
Where's the
say
light coming
so.
from?
Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite
We can just move around.
hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Okay. But I want to see the bottom, though.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Why? It's an infinite hole, right?
Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated
Wait, what?
the infinite nature of the hole.
Oh, please tell me it's the
It's a
bottom.
very, very deep hole. To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole.
Yeah, it's
I
still
don't want
going.
anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a...
Oof!
Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole.
Yay.
You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely?
Well, not infinitely, but I haven't wanted to go
think the hole was as
skydiving
deep
before.
as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
I feel lied to, game.
Look, things got a little...
It's not infinite.
I think
There's a
we
bottom.
both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us?
This is my same
Agree to
problem
just
with,
call
you know,
the whole
bottomless fries.
Mostly infinite. If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole, and we can move on.
Okay,
I'll just
okay.
be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Can we go back in? I kind of... Wait, hold on. You...
Oh, for hell. You see?
I knew it!
I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but...
Where's the
what
light
you
coming
own?
from?
No. You have a weird sort of... Oh.
That was shorter.
Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time?
Oh,
I couldn't
we're
help
discovering
but feel
things.
like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and
I am.
join me up above.
Gee.
Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so
Just
much more
kidding.
to show you and to talk about. And I've had enough of the... Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole.
Back in the hole.
If this starts to become a thing where...
Oh.
Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite.
Is this a metaphor
I
for
suspect that
creativity?
I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on?
Oh, it is! Fantastic.
Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is.
Oh.
A shame. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
Is it gonna be shorter? Oh, it's not working.
Is the teleport button not working?
So I'm stuck in a.
You sure?
I'm stuck in a 2-foot hole.
I really don't have an explanation.
Let me out.
Nothing. Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley.
What?
You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could
Can I stand in the
ever
bucket?
ask for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole. I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
I'm gonna find you, voice. I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna make you get me out of this hole. Oh. What ominous sound was that? So do we just wait, or the hole is it's expanding. Secret? I get the sense of wonder and excitement game, but at the same time, where am I going? Yeah, I'll just be quiet. I'll be quiet. Will we descend the hole? I'd prefer to call it more of a well, but you know. It's very dramatic. Oh, hello, Stanley. Wait, can I move? Oh, I can't move. Can I teleport? No. Change your perception. Oh, cool. You can't see it, but I'm getting down right now. This is awesome. Change. Okay. Wait. Perception one more time. This is trippy. Alright, H. H again. Whoa! Oh, look at that, it's the blood lake. Darn, I haven't been here in a while. What? Anyway. What is this? Okay, change yourself. This is... my job really has become pushing buttons and talking to a computer. Look at that. Wait. Oh, puppy. Oh, wait.
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley?
What?
Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there.
It was all a
Just
dream.
be away to dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley. Because this hole is just so...
The entire game so far.
I'll just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole. From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this
I mean,
hole.
Stanley had legs,
And I'm
which I know he
looking forward to
does,
all of
and
them.
if he could
Stay
jump.
alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
Well, this is great. Is the hole gonna rise now? That'd be cool. I got the whole ending. Huh? You got all the endings, guys, to get the
Go
whole
on,
ending.
Try out some of the new features.
Well, after that thrilling, admittedly funny gameplay, I'm very excited. Hold on. Well, after all that hard work, let's get some easy achievements.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well,
Yes.
I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Okay.
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that
Will exist. Oh,
Right now,
come
the
on,
achievement
game.
is still fully broken.
Can't
I'm
tantalize
not a
me like
wizard,
that.
Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Is there anything we get for pulling the button more? Oh, fine, game. Okay. I still have the bucket.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
That's new. Can you find them? Can you find them? Pretty.
Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative
What
is
the-
that there will be no reward for collecting all of them.
I'm
I
looking
don't want to
forward.
stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
This is cool. This is awesome. Wow. Cool. I for one feel. Oh, they're actually in the
God, it
game.
really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Can we go and get another one? I want to see if you can get another one from in here. No? I can't go back inside. Okay. Are they all going to have the glowing, terra-cool statues behind them? Well, we've seen the reassurance bucket and the achievement. I guess we just had to go to the exit now. Oh, the jump circle!
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle.
Oh, I should have saved some.
Oh, well. I
Knew
suppose
it.
it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
That's okay. Well, thank you, game. Something new over there. Can we get up there? Jump circle, mostly infinite. Did that change? You heard a gym in the game. Merch store. No, nothing. This t-shirt is the best new feature. Well, so far I disagree. I think the hole was the best feature this time. Well, I think all that's left now is to exit. Oh, wait, can we go upstairs? Oh, I almost missed something. Okay. Oh, no, it's just the exit. Okay.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to?
I
Ready
think
to
so.
move on now?
Mm-hmm. Let's go. philosophical. At least no screenshots.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment.
I think the whole was pretty good
I'll
game.
arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay
I
experience.
thought this was the exit.
Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Yay! Okay then. Can I get down there?
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version...
Alright, same time's a charm.
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how
pretty
good
good,
these
buddy.
gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I
not
can
much
take the
gameplay.
original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect.
Is this tasteful?
With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, this is the Stanley Parable 2.
I like that attitude, buddy.
Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Oh. Cool. Oh, that's cool. It's gonna stay like this forever. Oh, I actually like that. That's awesome. Just an infinite hallway then. That's kind of nice. That's cool. Okay. We'll get back into the game.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Something's a bit different here.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427.
Can't
Orders
put my
came
finger
to him
on it.
through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and of every month.
I don't want to skip because I want to see if there's anything else different.
And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Good for Stanley.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened.
Oh, Stanley
Something
Parable
that
too.
would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived
this
on the
cinematic
monitor
difference?
for him to follow. No one had
The
shown up to give him
balloons.
instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of it, what could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Do we want to continue? The bucket!
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Is that it? Oh, does the bucket change things if you go through other endings? Oh, there's so much to explore. Wait, what? Why is there... I'm not sure what you call this. Why is there one of these here? So much to cut. Me too, game. Me too. So much to content. Must explore. Mm-hmm. Well, so far, so much the same.
Than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Whoa, deja vu. It is gonna sound weird, but a long time ago, I had deja vu of looking at a board like this. I'm getting it now, too. Losing money. We have our new product. We sell graphs, then. Who buys graphs? What? Oh.
This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really
I think
feel
narrator's
it's a bucket.
going a bit
it
insane.
belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the
I can't even put it down if I wanted
I know
to.
how hard it must be, given the pressure
Oh,
that the
stop.
broom
I can't even put it down if I wanted
on your
to.
shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. No. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any
Oh, the
inanimate
humanity.
object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner. Well, I'd never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your...
Can you stop talking so I can lay into this broom closet? Come on, buddy. Yeah. Yeah. Listen here, you inanimate objects and so unwanted by the world that they would put you in here, in this desolate, unneeded space. You think you have anything between me and Bucket? No.
Here we go.
What are you saying? Property of Stanley.
Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike.
Do you think stole? And now he's my best friend. And we were literally inseparable because I could not put him down if I wanted to. I don't think I have arms to put him down if I wanted to, but that doesn't matter because I am Bucket's friend.
Sticker back here, and I'm going to slap
And
it on
you,
as well because
you
I think it's a privilege.
piddly collection of wrenches, staple guns, and boxes, tape. You think that you have any idea the little of the world you've experienced from inside this closet. You know nothing. You are nothing. If you were anything, you'll be wanted. They take you out of here, but no, they don't, do you? They forgot about you. Because you are forgettable, and the world will not remember your name. You are nothing.
You know what? I could take the name calling and the dismissal of your kinship with
And
the
when I
bucket,
close
but
this
now,
door,
the broom treatment, and to be honest, I'm sick
no
of
one
the
will even
pettiness
remember
on display.
that they saw you to begin
You can
with.
stay here all you like, but I've had it with this
Goodbye.
impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
Yes.
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Yeah. Me and Bucket.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and
I like how it implies the narrator has his
come
own
across
life
one
outside
of
the
these
game.
Beautiful figurines.
But you know what? I'll try to find one try to find them all if I can. Oh, that means we're going to go for all the endings again. Ah. Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp. Okay then. Hello, anyone home? Any more bucket related?
Into his manager's
Any more
office,
bucket related?
Stanley was
Wait, why
once
can you
again
walk over
stunned
this?
to discover not an indication of any human
Any more
life.
bucket related?
Crushed by the weight of this revelation,
Story?
Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing presence of the bucket.
Best friend bucket.
Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him, always. The bucket would. And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket
Can I get on with the
that he didn't
story?
notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the pin number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along?
Whoa,
Was
whoa.
the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
It all makes more sense now. Hey!
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands?
No,
Stanley figs. What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that.
Me too.
Another Stanlerine.
Okay. Not sure about collecting all of them, though, if there's no point to it. I mean, I'm not that invested in seeing all
The elevator
dialogue,
raced
you know?
downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not
If not
for
for
the
the
bucket.
presence of the bucket.
Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty,
It's the perfect
he
size
would be
for
all right.
hugging and holding
The
close.
bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
The bucket cares for me, and I care for the bucket. Can I go back up? I'm curious. Oh, I can! Is there a point to going back up?
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again.
Ooh.
The bucket said
Secrets?
nothing.
Well, buckets tend to say nothing. We can't go back down. Oh, okay. Any Stanlerines over here?
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over and over. Well, he said, the number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life.
I feel like I'm being...
Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him?
What's having relationship problems
Once
now?
Stanley had had enough
With
of
an
the
inanimate
number
object?
3, he got back in the elevator.
Is this the emotional strain on the relationship route? Not really feeling this anymore.
Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly.
Oh.
A hint of regret nagged in the back of Stanley's mind.
Oh my
Should he
gosh.
demonstrate the number 3 for the bucket again?
Why not?
Said Stanley to the bucket. You and I have been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the happiness I feel. He smiled at the bucket, and the bucket said nothing.
You know, I can't help but feel that I'm being given the cold shoulder nowadays. I mean, every time I hug them, there's just no warmth there.
Here
Just
we go,
cold,
said Stanley.
cold steel.
This time I'll really show you. He ran to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3, stories of his dreams and hopes and fears. And the whole time, he looked to his bucket for a reaction of some kind. Anything to let him know that the bucket appreciated what he was doing. The bucket conveyed absolutely nothing at all. Only silence. Crushed by a wave of dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator.
Okay. If I have to come back here one more time,
Stanley and the bucket were so
not actually mad,
close,
but still.
always been there for one another. Why suddenly could the bucket not connect with this passion of Stanley's? The question caused Stanley.
I feel like I'm just
to
growing
ruminate
distant
the
from you,
whole
Bucket.
way down the elevator.
What
He knew
changed?
that
Tell
there
me.
must be a way to get through to the bucket, to communicate fully with his dear friend. Surely there was a solution, mustn't there be?
You know what? Sometimes there is no solution. You just have to rip the Band-Aid off. Get over with it. No.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Oh, please. If light is on, call exit 914. Alright, you've got me hooked. What's up next? Narrator?
Said Stanley. I know what to do.
Oh, do you?
I know how to fully express this feeling in my heart.
Please show me.
He decided right then and there that he would hold a press conference where he would speak to the public on all matters relating to pressing the number 3 over and over. He would elaborate fully on what the number 3 meant to him and why he felt so alive when pressing it. Then the bucket would be able to see his joy through the eyes of others. It would get to see the world react to this discovery of Stanley's. And it would be through the public eye that the bucket would finally understand Stanley's work.
Okay.
For months, he advertised
Make
and
this something
marketed
new. All
his
eyes
press
on
conference,
live
building
stairs.
excitement around it, developing and rehearsing it, until it couldn't be refined a single measure further. When the big day arrived, Stanley was as prepared as he'd ever been for anything in his life.
This is quite fancy. World peace, baby. Whew, okay. Get ready. Go down on stage. Get in the right mindset. You can do this. Doing great at conversation with Alexander the Great. Right, psycho. Get ready. Whew. Okay, here we go.
This was it. One last chance to win the bucket over. One opportunity to share a
significance of
true
427?
connection with a loved one.
Keep seeing that number over and over again. 427. No way! The guy came with pizza. Do you guys like pineapple on pizza?
There was no one here.
I mean, I've never had it, but I just
Nobody had
I
come to
cannot
the
walk off
press
the edge.
conference
I cannot
to
walk
hear
off the
Stanley
edge.
speak, to listen to him talk.
Can't imagine it's that
about
good. I'm not
over
a
and
very big
over.
guy on pizza.
He was unloved, uninteresting. He was a failure. And in that moment, Stanley knew that the bucket would never again take him seriously. There would be no connection,
So much effort
no
put into
deeper
all this.
understanding. The bucket merely sat there in his arms, indifferent. And so it began that slowly, over many years, the two of them grew more and more distant. They spoke less and less, neither wishing to state the obvious, that any sense of real respect between them had eroded since that day at the press conference. There would be no more games, no more long conversations about passion and pursuit, only a silence that consumed the space between friends. And Stanley, having for once in his life discovered the warmth and comfort of true companionship, was cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
Thanks for the existential dread game. Very enjoyable. Oh.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Is the bucket still here?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'll take the bucket to the ending, okay?
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
Wait, so it still has the stickers on it, meaning we're in
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his
a
chest
similar way
and
as it.
entered the door on his left.
So when the dimension resets, it doesn't reset the timeline. Interesting. Bottom text. Alright, Bucket,
Coming
just
to
you and me
staircase,
in better times.
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him, always. The bucket would. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it
I just wanted to try.
Knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
I cannot believe that I got tricked. Not tricked, but I spent that much time. That I spent that much time going back up.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Or perhaps they didn't.
Although this passageway had the word "it" was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Okay.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
And yet they continued it forward anyway.
At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
How do we know? We can't hear the voices inside our head. Yeah. Geronimo. Do we just jump to our deaths? Still falling. What? Oh, what cool place is this?
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the
Useless
mind and the soul at ease.
receptacle.
To replace the bucket,
Yeah.
But what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death?
Oh,
This is
well,
what
it
Stanley
makes
thought
the
to himself,
walls hurt
and
less,
he sort
perhaps.
of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket.
Had to kick the
everywhere.
bucket too. Hey!
Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator,
What?
as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
But not Stanley? Okay, cool.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above.
Wait, isn't there a
the
different ending if
rest.
we don't take the bucket into
It was
this?
a glorious bucket to behold.
Wait, the bucket is gone! Oh, farewell, good friend. Good riddance. You are standing at the precipice of knowledge. Much like the bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within, a cavernous void. But through the use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes fully enriched and substantiated. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you have learned here out with you into the world? Will you accept with an open mind what may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourselves and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? No. Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were in the ignorance of darkness? Well, it is a bucket, so I'll put it over my head.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can
Did she kill the
you see that
narrator?
The bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life.
25. 25. Doesn't? Oh, that's far too few. And death is too easy a fate for the ones that upset the bucket order. Inferno bucket. Stress bucket analogy. Coping strategies. Holes. So the bucket transformed our energies into an infinite hole. Oh, I know the buckets predate the existence of mankind. We do not know by how long. This cave drawing depicts an early man's discovery of practical uses of the bucket, which by the time the bucket is already around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasures. It's a big bucket.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold.
What is
as
this bucket lore?
It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
That is ominous coming from a narrator, but okay. Glorious. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between the bucket and humanity. However, the clear grounds of the bucket, maybe there's no retreat to embrace the Disembodied. Fly, Stanley.
But there is something we can do.
Together
something
again.
we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let
What?
him be crushed by the machine.
Wait,
Don't
what?
reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket.
I don't.
We
I
can
think it's the
save
same bucket, but
world's
I don't think I'm
buckets
comfortable with
from
this.
their tools and implements. If only we let Stanley die together, the bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as
Wait.
commander of a new world, a new vision.
Oh. What a delightful ending.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Oh wait, that means there's other endings for
Stanley
no bucket
decided to
runs.
go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Fine.
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
So the bucket is okay.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and
I think we know what happens if we go down that way, but what if we go down the main? Let's finish this off the way it was meant to be finished off. What if we go down the main route, the main mind control route, with the bucket? Is the bucket the one behind all this, perhaps?
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again
Yes,
stunned.
yes.
Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Let's find out. It still says property of Stanley on it. That's fantastic.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Yes, Stanley and the bucket discovered a horrible truth.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket.
Some more dialogue, yes? What is this place, bucket?
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as
Oh,
Stanley cradled it gently,
Don't cry,
reassuring it
bucket.
that everything would
It's
be
okay.
fine.
For if you cry, who will hold your tears?
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in
Wait, is this
Stanley's
new?
feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Come on, buddy.
But
We gotta get to the bottom of this.
The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with
Wait.
emotions. Happy or sad or content.
It's not online.
Walking, eating, working.
It wasn't
all of
working.
It monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never
Is it
again
door over
exert
there?
its terrible power over another human life.
But why is it
For
off now?
he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Stanley and the bucket up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way. The bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Time to insert really cool comment here. Yeah. Time to mind your own business. There we go.
When at last they came to the source of the room's power, Stanley and the bucket knew it was their obligation to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
For so long I have been controlled. But now I too shall have power.
But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button. to
No,
turn
Bucket,
on
what
the
are you doing?
controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself?
No, Bucket, you mustn't.
Betrayed him like this.
Bucket, no.
Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds.
Birds.
Silly birds. The control button.
That's not.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another.
There we go.
And then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world.
Yes,
The
some
mind
silly bird.
controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions.
Wait.
Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket
This is
never
peaceful.
found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken,
Oh, so silly.
this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
Or was Stanley mind controlled by the birds? Was that the same if I didn't have the bucket? Me too, game. Me too. Well, I think that is a good amount of Stanley Parable for today. I don't know if I'm going to stream the rest of the endings, but maybe. If you guys want me to stream the rest of the endings, leave a like, or perhaps a comment. Yes, do that. And, yes, thank you for being here. Bit of a shorter stream today, but I just wanted to get back into the groove of things and play a bit more Stanley Parable. It's good to be back, though. I'll tell you, managing a void is not the easiest thing. There's a lot of nothing everywhere. And it's terribly hard to clean up, honestly. But thank you guys again. And tomorrow I'm thinking maybe some Elden Ring, but we'll see. I can't say Elden Ring is my cup of tea, mostly because I am too good for the game. Yes. I am so such a god gamer that I find the game too easy and not at all frustrating, and therefore it's not fun to play on stream. Yes, of course. Oh no, it's a lot of running around exploring, and then you get stuck on a boss for a few hours. Maybe I'll make a video of me fighting Margit. Maybe. Look forward to that. Maybe. Okay, well, I'll stop narrating here, and this has been The Arbiter, your almost daily disembodied voice on the Wanderer's Expanse. Thank you for being here again, and I'll see you again very soon. Goodbye, everybody. Bye. Bye.